Wajiha's Learning Academy. Today we are going to discuss the regionalism and globalization. Both topics they are very important from the point of view of international relations. Whenever we talk about the international relations field, we have given due importance to these both concepts. And whenever we talk about the international structure, international arena, firstly we have to look upon the domestic political structure, then we have to look on the politics of the region or the regionalism, and then we have to talk about the globalization. So let's start. Regionalism. Regions can be defined as the basis of land masses such as Africa, Asia, Europe, all the states within the area indicated by the name of organization included in its membership. But on the other hand, some nation states are geographically distant. They are included as like SEATO, Southeast Asia Treaty Organization. Now we have to talk about the different criteria which is given importance whenever we talk about the regionalism. So firstly there is a geographical criteria. There is a grouping of nation states. Firstly we must have to understand why the regionalism is given importance and why this concept, how this concept is impacting the nation states. Geographical criteria. There is a grouping of nation states on the basis of their location in continent and subcontinent. For example, Europe and Asia. Military political criteria. There is a grouping of nation states on the basis of their participation in alliances or the basis of ideological and political orientation. For example, Communist Bloc, Islamic Bloc, NATO, and Warsaw Pact. We have witnessed these kind of blocs like Communist Bloc and the Capitalist Bloc in the case of Cold War. Economic criteria. These are grouping of nation states on the basis of economic development. For example, we use the term developed state for the established nations, and the nations who are in the developing phase we use the word developing states, and the nations who do not fall in both of these categories we use the term underdeveloped states of third world. Then there is a transnational criteria. There is a grouping of nation states on the basis of volume and frequency, exchange of people, goods, and services. For example, United States, Canada, European market area. Other criteria. There is a grouping of nation states on the basis of criteria. For example, language, religion, culture, population, and climate. Thus, the international origin are the areas included the nation states having same location or the common military or the common political interests, economic condition with the same language, culture, civilization, climate, and historical backgrounds. Now let's discuss the regional organizations. Regional organizations have their specific economic blocks. They have been established to promote cooperation in the field of politics, economic, cultural, language, educational development. And most regional organizations they tend to work alongside well-established multilateral organizations such as United Nations. They're the different regional organizations like ASEAN, SEATO, NATO. Now let's discuss the globalization. How can we define the term globalization? Globalization can be conceptualized as a fundamental shift or the transformation in the spatial scale of human social organizations that links the distant communities and expands the reach of power relations across the regions and continents. And there is a globalization is a concept that it is the manifested by the increase in the interaction between the people around the world, involves the sharing of ideas, culture, goods, and and services. Now we have to discuss the different types of globalization. Like whenever I talk about the globalization, it has the different kinds too. So, firstly, there is a financial globalization. There is an interconnection of the world's financial system, like stock market, and what happens in Asian markets is affect the North American market. And now we have to discuss the political globalization. What is meant by the political globalization? Political globalization, it is a term that used to describe that the different countries they attempt to adopt similar political policies and styles of government in order to facilitate other forms of globalization. For example, they just want to move towards the system of parliamentarian governments. So there's a cultural globalization where there's exchange of the food, entertainment, languages like the English language. It is the result of the globalization. So that's all for today. If you